Most gardeners believe herbs crave endless sunshine, that without 6 full hours of direct light, your basil, thyme, or rosemary will wither away. But here's the secret: shade doesn't have to mean failure. In fact, many herbs not only tolerate shade, they actually thrive in it. Whether you've got a north-facing balcony, a tree-shaded yard, or a cool, damp corner of your garden, there's a way to turn that space into a lush, fragrant herb haven. Today, I'm going to share the real science, soil secrets, and care tips that make growing herbs in low light not just possible, but deeply rewarding. The first step to success is understanding what kind of shade you actually have. Shade isn't one size fits all. There's partial shade, areas that get about 3 to 4 hours of gentle morning sun or filtered light through trees. And then there's full shade, where sunlight rarely touches the soil. Most herbs prefer that middle ground. If your garden spot gets dappled or indirect light for part of the day, you're already in the perfect zone. True deep shade, like under dense tree canopies or behind tall buildings, will require a little extra creativity, but don't worry, we'll get there. Think of shade as a light diet for your plants. They don't get the full meal of sunshine, but they can still grow beautifully if you balance their other needs: soil, moisture, and nutrients, just right. In the shade, sunlight doesn't dry out the soil as quickly. That means moisture sticks around longer, and if your soil isn't perfectly balanced, roots can suffocate. To grow herbs successfully in low light, your soil must be loose, rich, and well-draining. Start with a base of high-quality compost, something earthy and alive, then mix in coarse sand or perlite to improve drainage. Here's a pro tip most gardeners miss: shaded herbs need oxygen just as much as light. Compact soil traps water, leading to rot. Loosen the top inch regularly and avoid mulching too heavily. Keep your soil slightly moist but never soggy. When you get this balance right, even shade-loving herbs develop strong aromatic leaves bursting with flavor. Now let's talk about what actually grows well. If you've been fighting to keep sun worshippers like basil alive in dim corners, stop fighting nature. Instead, choose herbs that have evolved to thrive with less light. Parsley, cilantro, chives, mint, lemon balm, and oregano are your champions here. They're naturally adapted to woodland or semi-shady environments. Mint loves the coolness of shaded soil and will grow thick and lush as long as it has moisture. Lemon balm gives off a refreshing citrus scent even with only a few hours of light a day. Chives can handle morning or dappled sunlight and still produce tender shoots perfect for salads and soups. If you must have basil, go for Thai or lettuce leaf varieties. They're more forgiving in lower light. One of the biggest mistakes gardeners make with shade-grown herbs is overwatering. Because evaporation slows down in shaded areas, the soil stays moist much longer. That means you should water deeply but less often. Always check the top inch of soil. If it feels damp, wait another day. Shaded herbs prefer consistency over intensity. Instead of drenching the soil every other day, give them steady hydration that mimics dew and natural rainfall. A light morning watering allows leaves to dry through the day, preventing mildew and fungal diseases that thrive in damp, dark conditions. Shade often comes with cooler air and less movement, and herbs love a bit of circulation. If your herbs are growing in a courtyard or behind a fence where air feels trapped, try spacing pots farther apart or using a small garden fan to keep air moving. This helps reduce the risk of fungal spots and keeps leaves firm and healthy. Also remember that not all shade is cool. Some shaded spots near walls or patios can actually trap heat. Observe how your area feels throughout the day. Herbs like cilantro and parsley prefer cool shade, while oregano and lemon balm don't mind a touch of warmth. Understanding this balance can be the difference between thriving plants and sluggish ones. When light levels drop, plant metabolism slows. That means your herbs won't use nutrients as quickly as those in full sun. Overfeeding them can actually do harm, leading to leggy, weak growth. Feed lightly once a month with an organic liquid fertilizer, ideally one lower in nitrogen, to encourage stronger flavor instead of excessive leafiness. Better yet, use compost tea or diluted fish emulsion, gentle sources that release nutrients slowly. In shaded gardens, the goal is not speed, but stability. Your herbs will grow more slowly, but their flavors will be deeper and more aromatic because they're developing under less stress. If your shade shifts throughout the day, containers might be your best friend. They allow you to move your herbs to capture small windows of light. Just make sure the pots have drainage holes. Shade and trapped water don't mix. Clay pots are great for keeping soil aerated, while plastic pots hold moisture longer if your area is very dry. For permanent shady spots, raised beds with loose, compost-rich soil give herbs more room to spread their roots and regulate moisture naturally. The real secret is observation. Experiment with both methods, and you'll quickly see which herbs prefer the stability of ground planting and which thrive in the flexibility of pots. In lower light, herbs grow slower, but that doesn't mean less taste. In fact, many shade-grown herbs develop more concentrated oils. The trick is to harvest at the right time. Pick in the late morning after dew has dried but before midday warmth. This is when essential oils are at their peak. Cut no more than 1/3 of the plant at once to allow it to recover. Use sharp scissors or pruners to make clean cuts, encouraging fresh new shoots. And here's something magical. The more you harvest, lightly, the bushier and healthier your shade herbs become. Gentle pruning is the secret handshake between you and your plants. If your herbs look pale or leggy, they're stretching for light. Move them slightly closer to brightness. Even reflected light from a wall can help. Yellow leaves often mean overwatering or poor drainage, so improve soil structure immediately. Slow growth can be due to compacted soil or low nutrient availability, which compost tea can fix easily. And remember, patience is your biggest tool. Shade gardens grow at their own pace. Once you understand that rhythm, every new leaf feels like a small miracle. The secret to growing herbs in the shade isn't luck or complicated science. It's about observation, balance, and respect for how plants adapt. When you create the right soil, moisture, and airflow conditions, your shaded garden can become a living patchwork of scents. Mint drifting through the air, lemon balm brushing against your hands, parsley ready for the kitchen. So if you've been avoiding those dim corners, it's time to change that story. Shade isn't a limitation, it's an invitation to grow smarter. And if you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Soil Story and share this video with fellow gardeners. Let's keep turning every forgotten patch of soil into something alive and beautiful.